So as it says on the slide, I'm going to introduce a product today that we've announced called Canopy Cloud Fabric, obviously powered by Cloud Foundry. So as it says there, I'm part of the sales team, so hopefully it's not a sales pitch, but hopefully we can get our messages across. So just in case nobody's ever heard about it, Canopy is formed from a couple of the big IT organizations out there, from VMware, EMC, and from Atos. So really the focus is on end-to-end cloud services for the enterprise. So what I'm going to talk to you about is that play from a pivotal Cloud Foundry perspective. So as I was introduced, really, this is about how excited we are now to be part of the community, part of the foundation. We went out for dinner last night, and it was great to start meeting and contributing to the discussion around Cloud Foundry and the adoption of Cloud Foundry in the enterprise. So we're really excited about that. We've hopefully tweeted about that, and everybody's aware. But also we're going to talk about the first release of our Cloud Fabric product. And as we've heard from a number of the other presenters, how exciting it is as a piece of technology, but how difficult it is to consume that in the enterprise. So really that's our space, right? We want to start to help people with the consumption of those things. So Cloud Fabric is PCF, so it's Pivotal Cloud Foundry. It's the commercial version of Cloud Foundry, but we deliver that and own it for you. So everything you need is provided by us and managed by us. So we've got, as it says after the plus, it's about the value add, about, we deliver it to you in the mode that those things are needed, in the locations, whether it's in your data center or our data centers. Do you need the app servers and the data services that exist today natively within PCF, or do you need more? We have some consultancy professional services where we can start to build those things with you. So just going into a few of those things in a bit more detail. So as it says, this is delivered how you need it, right? Whether you need it in multi-tenant based on some shared infrastructure with shared PCF, whether you need it virtual private, so shared infrastructure, but with dedicated ring-fenced instances of PCF, or you need it totally dedicated hardware and dedicated PCF, but in your data center or our data center. The key thing here is it's all provided by us, right? So you haven't got to go and deploy, go and buy the licenses, or go and install that yourself. You can come to us and we can do those things for you, right? So we're just trying to make it as easy as possible. So where do you need those things, right? So, we're focused globally. Canopy is a global organization, right? So we've created some geographic hubs, some data centers around the world, specifically here within the European Union and the North America and within Singapore. That's the strange map there is Singapore. So all of our shared infrastructure is based in those locations, but we're building out from there, right? So that's just the beginning. We're going to partner with some of the other VMware hybrid cloud service providers to build out more data centers so we can get more geographic reach with those things. But also on the other side, if you need it private, then obviously we can just deploy it. We use some of our parent tools to do that, products. So based on the vBlock technologies, we deploy you a dedicated PCF instance within your data center, have that managed by us or have it unmanaged by us. The choice is simply yours. So we're also talking about the data services. So, with Pivotal Cloud Foundry, you get a number of data services that are readily available to you, whether it's brokered through App Direct or whether it's some data services that we've written with you, or the app services, whether they're Oracle or SQL Server through the user-defined services. Some enterprises want to manage those things themselves, but we want to manage them as well. So if that's part of what you're trying to gain from these things, you want us to manage those, you want us to provide the DBA functions, you want us to provide that against a set service level, whether that's performance service levels or just availability service levels, then clearly that's something we can do as well, right? So as a whole, what we're talking about here is that Cloud Fabric provides the ecosystem of complementary services that enables the enterprise to adopt some of these cool technologies, right? We've talked about the complexity, so we want to create a means in which the enterprise can start to consume those things as simply and as easily as possible. So we've talked about the platforms, we've talked about having it in the right place, in the right mode, with the right number of data services or application services provided. But also we want to talk about support, right? So on the left-hand side there, the fact that you know, we do want to have people at the back end that can provide the support for those things, not just about the PCF product itself, but the way that that's been delivered for you as a customer. So all of that needs to be supported by it. And maybe you want some application support, right? Maybe you've deployed the application, but you'd actually like someone else to now manage that for you from an ongoing support perspective. So from professional services, and I'd like to shout out to the Cloud Credo guys, who have been helping us to build out some of our PCF customization and actually the deployment. So as part of that community, you know, we're sort of working with those guys and continue to work with those guys to work on how do we customize that, how do we make the deployment of those things as easy as possible. But also customers are, you know, our customers are generally legacy enterprise businesses who are struggling to understand how and in which sequence do they start to consume PCF. So we've got a bunch of application modernization services that look at the estate today, look at the low-hanging fruit, look at the sequence of which we would look to migrate some of those applications, and then help the customers build that transformation plan. Or application development, right? If they've got PCF and they want to start to leverage that, but they simply need some help with specialized PCF-based development knowledge, then we've got a bunch of guys that can do that as well. And then moving on to management, right? Enterprises expect 3, 4, 9, 5 nines availability. They expect a single point of contact. They expect a service desk that's multi-channel, multilingual, and they want to know that in the middle of the night when something's gone wrong that they can ring somebody and someone's managing it. So that's a really key thing that Canopy wants to bring to this foundation, this community. But also looking at the pricing of these things. So I think Pivotal will accept that maybe some of the pricing around PCF isn't as cloud-like as it should be. So we're working with them now with our experience of doing this in a number of other different sort of cloud offerings to try and make that a more easily consumable pay-as-you-go model, right? So really what I want to focus on this slide, this is my last slide, right? So it's not too much pain left to go through. So really what I focus is we're part of the foundation. We're part of that community now. We want to make the community start to work. So our skin in the game is we've got an early adopter program. This is a free service. We'd love you to sign up in the middle there around, email those guys, right? And we really want you to sign up. We're going to give you some free access to those things. We want to provide you with something that's of value for you. And what we expect in return is some feedback. How can we make this better? What could we do to make this better that we can take into our offerings, but also feed back into the foundation as well? So please do that. We're going to tweet out all these things. So keep an eye out for @CanopyCloud and look out for the hashtag CF Summit tags as well. We're going to do a webinar, right? So I've had 10 minutes or 8 minutes and 22 seconds. So come along to the webinar, right? We'll look out for that one. It'll be a more in-depth conversation about who and why and where we're doing these things. And also, we're in the booth number 20, right? For those of you who haven't already been over, please come over so we can have a chat and we can look at your challenges and how we overcome those. You can't miss us. You can't get away from us. We're by the exit. We're by the food, right? So please come over and have a chat. So that's me done. Thank you very much for your time, and speak to you soon.